Chapter 1331, Father of the Emperor. The maize on the farm was blown by the wind, causing the kernels to be pushed lower in height. The golden sea of maize was moving up and down like waves, producing rustling sounds. Suddenly, the maize seemed to be broken off from the roots. Then, chewing sounds could be heard. That was not coincidental. Large patches of maize began to disappear, exposing the rats hidden inside. A young man wearing a black robe stepped out from the void. He shielded his eyes with his palm and looked into the sky. Little Fury, is the place correct? Do you think Great Lord is living the good life in the land of forefathers? Should we go back and look for him after this? Do you miss him? Do you think he will miss me? Little Fury was riding charismatically on a black rat. The black rat, which was as big as a dog, had a saddle and armor. Ouyang Lishang's name was engraved at the corner of the armor. He turned and said to Wen Zaifu, "Dream on, he won't miss you. Didn't he say that you were not to look for him in the land of forefathers? Why can't I look for him in the land of forefathers? The two worlds are now connected, I can go back anytime I want." Wen Zaifu widened his eyes. "Moreover, I have proven with facts that I am more reliable. Didn't he hand over the position of the King of Gods to me and ask me to help him manage the entire universe? Bro, he asked you to be the king here because he hopes that you can stay put. Lu Shu is different from God Lu after all," said Little Fury slowly. His body moved along with the black rat. "You could pawn God Lu's things and that was because God Lu was not greedy. Now that you pawn Lu Shu's things, he could sell you away too." From Wen Zaifu's distress, plus 666. "I still preferred it when you couldn't talk," said Wen Zaifu. "I don't care. I will definitely return to the land of forefathers." "Oh right, are you sure that you found Sun Xuanwen?" Little Fury said proudly. "Now, if I, Little Fury, only want to look for someone in the Luniverse. Isn't that extremely easy?" Although he can hide very well, he underestimated my mice army. When Zaifu sighed as he looked at the lonely cottage in a distance away, "The legendary master is willingly farming here." "Why not?" Little Fury said, "He is afraid of death." When Zaifu shrugged. Great Lord didn't want to kill him. He has no choice because he is restricted by others. Not everyone is loyal to Great Lord like me. They are not even afraid of the slave mark. You are born with a physique that causes you to never end up as a slave. This has nothing to do with whether you are loyal or not, said Little Fury happily. At that moment, Sun Xuanwen came out of the door of the cottage as he carried a hoe. He was stunned when he saw Wen Zaifu, who was dressed in a black robe. After standing rooted to the ground for a long time, he smiled. "So, all of you came in the end." As he said that, Sun Xuanwen put aside his hoe and smiled as he cleaned the dust on his body. "Kill me if you want." Why didn't he come? Wen Zaifu looked at Sun Xuanwen carefully. "You are not resisting?" Sun Xuanwen asked back, "Is there any point in resisting? That person can reach here in one step. As long as I am discovered, I am just waiting to die. He put you in the Luniverse as the new king and returned to the land of forefathers to be the father of the emperor. This surprised me." "Great Lord doesn't care about the title and benefits," said Wen Zaifu proudly. "Those are things that ordinary men crave for. Even if it is me, I won't want to be a king of gods like that." "You are wrong." Sun Xuanwen shook his head. "If you really do not care, why aren't you letting go completely? Aren't you still in charge?" "That is to prevent battle between the two worlds," interrupted Little Fury. "I am Little Fury. I assumed the role of the director of the management committee of the checkpoint of the two worlds." "How is this title?" Sun Xuanwen was stunned. "What?" "Forget it, you won't understand." Little Fury flinged his claw. "Why do you think that Great Lord will kill you?" Wen Zaifu was happy. However, this question stunned Sun Xuanwen. "Why not?" Wen Zaifu laughed as he turned around and left. He does not plan to kill you. Great Lord has an order for you to assume the role of the West Lord of Heaven after 23 years of farming work. That was something he had promised you, and it has not changed. Sun Xuanwen stood behind the fences and saw Wen Zaifu leave. The mice army also disappeared. He suddenly felt slightly sad but did not know why. At this moment, Little Fury, who left with Wen Zaifu, looked up and asked, "Why doesn't Great Lord want to kill Sun Xuanwen?" He said that is the misery of the era. Wen Zaifu shrugged. Sun Xuanwen is only the sacrifice of this chaotic era. He did not want that to happen. However, he betrayed us in the last battle. Great Lord is really merciful, said Little Fury. I thought so too. If I was him, I would have definitely killed Sun Xuanwen even if he was wronged. However, Great Lord said that we should not turn the misery of the era into our own misery, said Wen Zaifu. This sentence is deep. I have to think about it further. 3 months later, an uninvited guest arrived outside the Xingshu Road. He was wearing a black robe and knocked on the door loudly. Great Lord, I have come to visit you. Do you miss me? Great Lord, open the door. Great Lord, why aren't you responding? I know you are in there. Chapter 1332, Long Time No See. Office of Fieldwork, Luo City Heavenly Network Headquarters. Have you heard about the concert last month? Someone furrowed their eyebrows and asked as they looked at the file they had just received. Yes. I heard that the appeal at the concert venue was particularly strong. I suspect that the lady called Wang Shuli is a rare sound-type metahuman. A member of the Heavenly Network gulped and said, someone asked Old Zhong whether we need to go to the field. After all, the scale of concerts like this is too big. Its effects are vast as well. We can't allow this young lady to continue singing and bewitching others. Then what did Old Zhong say? The person who had started this conversation looked over curiously. Zhong Yutong was now the manager of the entire Heavenly Network. Typically, decisions made by him would be the final decision. Heavenly King Nya was busy with other affairs. He had not appeared for a long time. Along with Heavenly King Nya, the most well-known 9th Heavenly King had also disappeared. Old Zhong said that we don't have to care about her singing. Heavenly King Lu is an old friend of hers. He knew that she would hold concerts in other countries. An expert in the Heavenly Network laughed. This was probably Heavenly King Lu's plan to harm other countries, as long as our territory is not affected. That's right. Where did Heavenly King Lu and Heavenly King Nya go to? We haven't seen them in half a month. Someone asked. Apparently some trouble occurred at the pathway between the two worlds that Little Fury is in charge of. Heavenly King Lu was there, but disappeared after that. Maybe something that required his attention happened overseas? Let's be real. Does he really need to be concerned with overseas affairs? Just leave it to the overseas practitioner organizations, right?
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Then it has nothing to do with us. In the outskirts of Luo City, a new car drove clumsily on an empty street. There were no more ordinary residents in Luo City. Many residents had left because of the battle. After the two worlds started to trade, Luo City grew more popular. Everyone had accepted the reality that the two worlds could not be completely separated. Even Lu Shu could not completely close the pathway, unless he lit up the 7th level, or the realm of the King of Gods. At first, Nia Ting had planned to send guards, but Lu Shu did not agree. He had to support the Imperial Dragon soldiers. He wanted to start trade between the worlds. He would earn a lot of money by managing the trade, right? The road that the car was traveling on had been newly built. Chen Xuan sat on the passenger seat. He was flustered. Straighten the steering wheel. Why are you always turning it? Step on the accelerator. Step on the brakes. Turn left, turn left, turn left. Damn. Brake. The car slowly came to a stop. Chen Xuan poked his head of the car and looked at the greenery they had brushed past. He turned and angrily looked at Chang Qiuqiao. Don't you know how pigs die? Chang Qiuqiao looked at Chen Xuan. They were so angry that they died? Chen Xuan was dumbstruck. Chang Qiuqiao slowly said, it's a trivial matter. Driving has to be learned slowly. Why are you panicking? I promised Brother Lu that I would teach you how to drive before he comes back. Chen Xuan alighted and lit a cigarette. He stepped on the greenery. If Brother Lu comes back and realizes that you still cannot drive, he will think that I am a bad teacher. Chang Qiuqiao thought about it for a while. Suddenly, he said, do you think that Brother Lu will be successful this time? I don't know. After all, this has never happened before. Who knows? Chen Xuan finished smoking his cigarette in 2 breaths and put it out. But I hope that he will succeed. You must know that you were able to survive because of him. Chang Qiuqiao paused for a while. Then, he said, I hope that everything is successful. The Ring of Fire is an area surrounding the Pacific Ocean, where earthquakes and volcanic eruptions often occur. It stretches over 40,000 kilometers in a horseshoe shape. There are trenches, islands, and volcanoes along the Ring of Fire. The tectonic plate movement is violent. There are 512 active volcanoes along the Ring of Fire, making up 80% of the active volcanoes in the world. It is situated in between the Eurasian Plate and the Pacific Plate. Crust activity frequently occurs. Lu Shu and Nie Ting stood on the surface of the water. Nie Ting asked, is this the place? Are you confident? Then, Nie Ting turned and looked at the phoenix egg in Lu Shu's hand. There were strong flames in the egg. It was constantly jumping around, like a heart. Every time the heart jumped, the phoenix egg would grow brighter. It was like a pearl that constantly gave off light. Lu Shu smiled. I would be lying if I told you that I was 100% confident. But I believe that in the end, it will turn out well. If not, it means that it is not yet the end. Nie Ting looked at Lu Shu with a serious expression on his face. I'm counting on you. No worries. This is what I should do. Lu Shu smiled. The young man looked much more mature. Luckily, he sacrificed himself for the sake of others. If not, there is only one phoenix egg. I don't know how I would bring back so many people. Lu Shu weighed the phoenix egg in his hand. He broke a pearl. Today, I will return one to him. Nie Ting looked calmly at Lu Shu. Hold it properly. Don't do that. Then, Nie Ting did not move. Lu Shu dove into the water with a burst of strength. His water-type abilities formed a massive whirlpool, sending them into the deep ocean. The deep ocean was dark. No one knew when this trench had been formed. It was so deep that he could not see the bottom. There was supposed to be a massive volcanic belt underwater. Furthermore, it was unusually active. Lu Shu looked at the phoenix egg in his hands. Back then, it had fallen into his hands after killing Howard of the Phoenix Society, and Lu Shu had not expected it to be this important in the future. In some countries, the Chinese phoenix and the phoenix were 2 different animals. The Chinese phoenix could not revive, but the phoenix could. But Lu Shu felt that this was because of a difference in countries and cultures. They had probably seen the same creature. The seabed turned darker and darker. In the end, Lu Shu saw a line of fire in the deep sea. The line of fire, that was bursting forth with magma, stretched for hundreds of kilometers. It was magnificent. Who would have thought that volcanoes and magma existed underwater before the advancement of science? In the end, Lu Shu looked at the phoenix egg. His success would be decided today. Then, he let go of the phoenix egg and threw it into the magma. No matter whether it was Nie Ting on the surface of the water, or Lu Shu at the bottom of the sea, they both waited quietly. Suddenly, Lu Shu realized that there was a sudden flash below the line of fire. Closely after, the fish underwater started to escape. It was as if this place had turned into a danger zone. The line of fire underwater instantly turned dark. It was as if something was rapidly absorbing the heat from the magma and assembling itself. The bottom of the ocean grew brighter and brighter. It shone with radiance. Lu Shu stood in the magnificent seabed and looked at the light. Suddenly, his heart felt fresh and clear, like air after the rain. He felt very peaceful. He broke into a smile. Heavenly King Shi, long time no see. Dear listener. Spare Me, Great Load, audio novel, has completed. Thank you.
What does it mean to be happy? 'Cause it looks like we all don't know. Glass half full or empty. Man, we just putting on a show. Try to look to the heavens.